the DA run Western Cape Province, political games are at play where National is being blamed for SAP's lacks of resources and manpower. But when concerned communities march or have peaceful pickets against gangsterism, drugs, and in support of Palestine, the presence of police does not reflect what the DA claims. Sadly, we have further witnessed how SAPS is being used by certain elitist groups who support apartheid and the Zionist Israeli entity to brutally attack, victimize, and arrest peaceful picketers. Further, Honourable Speaker, when is the 9 members of Parliament going to be investigated and our questions be answered with regard to these particular members? Donald Trump has asked the Honourable President as to why Honourable Malema has not been arrested. Al-Jamaa is asking why have the members of Parliament who visit and claim no apartheid in Israel not being arrested and investigated? I thank you.
Bring it on as a debate.
Honourable members. That concludes member statements. Are there any ministerial responses? Honourable Michalakis.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, just on the last comment, I do believe that if an allegation is made that members of this House have committed a criminal offence, that a substantive motion has to be brought against them, and that a member can't make such allegations against members of this House. Thank you.
Thank you, Malatsi.
Honourable Reddy, I am still busy with that point of order. I will recognise you later. Honourable Saleh, I am still busy with Honourable Michalakis' point. Honourable members, it is indeed so that if you do make any accusations of that kind of nature, which would reflect or imply a criminal activity, that you do bring a substantive motion to the House. So you may do that. Honourable Saleh, I'm not going to go into an interaction with you. This is my ruling. And I first had Honourable Reddy.
Thank you, Honourable Acting Deputy Speaker. The rules say that at the point where you see the discretion, discrepancy being made, you raise the point then. Honourable Michalakis has done this several times where he raises points of order after the event. And if he claims to be an expert in the rules, he should know this. Please make sure that he knows this and stop abusing us and the rules in the House. Thank you.
The rules also make provision for the presiding officer's discretion. So I have dealt with the matter. Honourable Michalakis, I have ruled on the matter that a substantive motion is necessary. Please proceed.
Deputy
I will
Speaker,
come back to you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, is the member going to be asked to withdraw her statement as well, or is that not part of your ruling? Just for
that is not part of my ruling. I will also look at the Hansard and will also come back with that if it is necessary. Honourable Saleh, Honourable Saleh.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, more than a month ago, we have brought a request through to the Speaker with regard to this particular matter. There is an investigation and we're waiting more than a month for further report back in this matter. Thank you.
Thank you. We will take that up with the Speaker as it was directed at her office. Honourable members, we now proceed. Are there any members of the Executive wishing to reply? Honourable Malatsi. Honourable Malatsi, please give me a moment. Let me see who's all. That's the only minister in the House on the virtual platform. Let's just see.
Long-stainers and must reply. John must reply. Why he said what he said there?
Order, honourable members. I have, and we can only take 7 minister. I have Honourable Malatsi in the House. I have Deputy Minister Mashlobo. Then I have Bushlela. I have Minister Steenhuisen, Deputy Minister Nel. Honourable Minister Malatsi.
Thanks very much, Deputy Speaker. In response to the member statement shared by Honourable Bodlani and I think also the member from the MK, I think it's important to acknowledge that what the gazetted regulation seeks to do is nothing away from the spirit of the existing provisions of the Act, particularly broad-based Black economic empowerment, which makes provision for the introduction of equity equivalence as an alternative to investment. This is not some invention by a villager from Limpopo called Malatsi. It is there in the rules, and I would want to refresh the member from the MK. The BBBE Act, the Amendment Act, was assented on the 28th of February 2024. And if everybody knows who the president of the country at that time is, you know that is the current leader of the founder of his own party. So he must refresh his own memory about the empowerment laws of this country. And 2014, I see Honorable. Yes, 2014. And to the EFF, there was a member from the EFF who went on a tirade about some conspiracy of assassination. You don't need an assassination to see that the EFF is finished. The EFF is finished. And that is why
You respond because you're not the one supposed to respond.
and
We've asked an international
Order, members.
Inkabi.
Order.
Enlisting an international Inkabi. An international Inkabi.
Honourable
to come
Minister,
and deal
Honourable
with the
Minister,
leadership
please
of the
wait.
EFF.
Honourable Minister, please pause. Honourable member from the EFF. Honourable member, please proceed with your point of order. What point are you rising on?
No, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the minister is out of order. He cannot come to this house instead of responding to the statements that the members put forward. Yeah, now he's talking about the finished EFF. Which criteria is he using to determine that EFF is finished? He can't do that. Respond to their member statements.
Honourable members,
Honourable
member from
Speaker, on a
honourable
point of
member,
order.
I have not recognised you. There is a point of order from your member on the floor, so you are now interrupting your member. So I am busy
On a point of
ruling.
order.
Honourable member, you cannot take a point of order whilst I'm busy ruling on another point of order. Please consult the rules, and could the Chief Whip of the EFF also assist with your members, please. Honourable Minister, there was a point that you made certain remarks about a party. Now, honourable members, in terms of the rules, and this was also dealt with in the courts, that if it is a reflection on an individual member, you need a substantive motion. If it refers to a party, it is not, in terms of the rules, not allowed. So you may cast any comments on a party. That is obviously the minister's opinion, and I would suggest that the honourable member take it up with the minister. Yes, honourable member, I will now allow you. What point are you rising on?
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I want to rise on a point of order, Honourable Speaker, because the Honourable Minister was not in Washington when John Steenhuisen was making these comments.
Yes.
He was not invited.
Honourable-
And John Steenhuisen was
Honourable
speaking
member.
there not as a political leader
Honourable
of the
member.
TA, but as a minister of government.
Honourable member,
I was not speaking
honourable
as
member,
a
I am
political
addressing
leader
you.
of the TA.
Honourable member, that is not relevant. That is not a point of order. That is a matter for debate. We will now proceed. Honourable Minister Malatsi, you have a minute left.
Thanks very much, Deputy Speaker. In the interest of progress, we would leave the status of the finished parties to their members to ventilate. But the important thing here is that we are dealing with make sure that the existing regulations in the telecommunications sector are standardized and speak to the spirit of the empowerment rules of this country. And those are covered in the BBBE Act of this country. What we are doing is to make sure that there is consistency across the board. The same rules apply to every player in the market. There is no conspiracy of an exemption for one particular company here. It is about an effort to seek that the rules consistently speak to the spirit of the Act around empowerment and the transformation goals of this country, which are non-negotiable, and there's no deviation from that.